Greetings of the day, children. I hope you all are doing very well, and you all are invited for the virtual session of science again. And I hope you all are all maintaining your notebook. Just a gentle reminder to everyone here. So let us go ahead, and I'm very much hopeful what all we have discussed in the previous session. You are making a note of all that. So let us see what are we going to have. We are going to continue with the chapter electric current and its effects, and in this session we are going to learn electric current. We have seen so many other concepts in the previous session. We have seen conductors and insulators, we have seen the electric circuit, we have seen the switch, and what is the purpose of using switch in a electric circuit. So in this session we are first going to begin with electric current. Let us see. Most of the devices and machines we use, like an electric iron, oven, room heater, refrigerator, ceiling fan, or an electric bulb, work when an electric current flows through them. So these are the electrical gadgets or the devices which work on electricity. You all know that, and they will only work when electric current flows through them. That means there will be a flow of electrons in the conducting wire that will help in the working of this electrical gadgets and electrical devices and appliances. So let us see some appliances here you have which work on electric current. You all know what is electric current. It is a flow of electrical charge in a given circuit, and that is being applied in a day-to-day life. So much of importance of electric current in a day-to-day life. Without electricity you just can't think of life. You can see the application over here. Here the image shared with you all. Your washing machine work on electricity, electric kettle, television, hair dryer, computer, microwave, electric fan, vacuum cleaner, and what not. Refrigerator again here. You think of your daily routine and you will find one electrical appliances you are using every time. So here you have listed some. You can list down this in your notebook. Write electrical appliances works on electricity. So washing machine, electric kettle, you can add more in the list. You must know, you should be knowing many more electrical appliances. You can put in the list over there, so you can write the appliances works on electricity, list them down: washing machine, electric kettle, television, hair dryer, computer, microwave, electric fan, vacuum cleaner, refrigerator, all that, room heater also, geyser, all those work on electricity. You can just put a list of all these appliances, children. Then source of electric current. Okay, so now let us see source of electric current. A device that can be used to produce an electric current is called a source of electric current. So there should be some source from where you will get electric current. It will not be just by some means it is not generated. It has to have a proper source, and you are not generating electricity at home. You are just getting a supply of electric current. So let us see the source from where we are getting the electric current. Common sources of electric currents are cells and batteries. That means batteries are collections of cells. So the cells which you buy from the market, or the batteries which you buy from the market, comes in various shapes and sizes. And electric current that we get from plug points in houses. So the plug points in houses, that means we are getting a supply of electric current from the power station, and we get electricity bill every month. For that electricity bill you have to pay the given amount. That means that much of unit is being charged to you, depend upon the electrical appliances which you are using. If you use AC and all the heavy loaded which require high amount of power supply, geyser and ACs, refrigerator and all, they put a huge load on the power supply, so you will get a higher electricity bills. So that plug point is actually the supply which we get at home from the power station. A very useful kind of cells which we use very often is the dry cell that we use in the remote control, and you use in the in your toys which work on the cells. Is many more appliances which works on the dry cells, and due to chemical reaction that takes place in cells and batteries, electric current is produced. So here these are some sources of electricity. Because we are not generating it at home, we have to buy that source of electricity. We have to buy electricity and you have to pay for it. And for large production of electricity, where the power station is, how they harness electricity with the help of flowing water or steam is used. So that is a big plant where the electricity is generated, and it is being supplied to every houses and offices. Okay, so I hope these points are clear. You have to take it down. Just see the different types of cells and batteries is very common. You must have seen these children many a times. And these dry cells can be used in various electrical devices. Now, since we are learning about the electrical devices and we are learning about the sources of electricity, let us see a simple device, electric torch, how it works. So you have a schematic diagram of an electric torch shown in figure 14.10. I'll show you in the next slide. An electric torch has one or more dry cells inside it, which act as the source. These cells are connected through a switch to a small bulb. When the switch is pushed to the on position, the circuit is complete and the bulb glows. When the switch is pushed to the off position, the circuit is incomplete, that means a broken circuit, and now the current cannot flow through the circuit and the light goes out. So it just basically works on the principle of switching it on and off position, and it has cells inside. They are connected through a switch to a small bulb. So the bulb will glow inside, and that will give you that and it reflects light. So we will see the diagram of the torch and how it is being made. You just have to write down this short note in your notebook for this electric torch. Here you have an electric torch which shows a plastic casing, but inside you just have a beautiful electric torch in your hand, and the inside image is shown over here, what actually happens inside. So you have a plastic casing. There inside you have dry cells. They are being connected, positive connected to negative, like that. Opposite terminals are connected so that the battery is completed and the current can flow. And the slight switch in on position. So you have a switch on the upper external body of the torch so that you can operate as an on and off position as you require. Then you have a reflector and torch bulb, you can see, and the light get reflected. I hope this is very clear. This is a schematic diagram of an electric torch. So just have a look at this. I hope the construction of this electric torch is clear with you all. Now, very importantly, electric safety. Since you are dealing with electric current, electric circuit, high chances of getting electric shock, since your body is a good conductor of electricity. So you have to be very careful when you are dealing with electric current. What are the safety measures? Let us list them down. Electricity can be very dangerous if you do not handle electrical devices carefully. One should never play with electrical wires and sockets. Always keep this in your mind, children. Electricity from cells is safe and you can experiment with it. So the dry cells and the small cells which you get, which you use in toys and remote controls, they are safer to use because the electrons are not moving out of the cells which can pass through your body. They are safer to use. But you have to be careful to not to connect the two terminals of a cell directly through a wire or a conductor. That you have to take care. And electricity generated by portable generators is dangerous and should not be used for experiments. So these are the care and the precautionary measures you have to be taken when you are dealing with electricity. I hope you all are maintaining points, children. So here the symbol of skull and crossbones is used to warn people of danger. An electric shock may even lead to death. So when you are putting switch on and off for electrical appliance, you have to be very careful. You should never play with the electrical gadgets and the switch. It can definitely be very harmful to you. It's very dangerous to get an electric shock. And the symbol where you see very high voltage in a building where all the arrangement of the electrical circuit is done, and you have a common point in a building where for every house they have an arrangement of the electric circuit and they have fuse. There you have a sign of a skull and crossbones that shows danger. That means that place is having a high voltage electricity passing and being supplied to all the houses and the commercial places, commercial shops and all. So you have to be very careful over there where you see the sign of this danger, because there shows high voltage electricity which can be very, very dangerous to you. So here we come to an end of the session, children. I hope the session was interesting and very much hopeful you are making points in your notebook, children. Do keep your notebook updated, children. Thank you and have a great day.